Is flying high the new meta of War Thunder? Let's talk a little bit about it. Hello guys, once again it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe, and today we have 3 examples of successful, somewhat successful with some mistakes here and there that I wanted to talk about, of how the meta is right now. So the first one is with the F-16, as you see over here, and I'm doing what I think is what a lot of people are doing. There's 2 types of people right now: flying very low to the ground or flying very high. And I gotta be honest, I'm excited that finally BVR can actually be done successfully, in the sense of being competitive, you know, not them like it wasn't before, but now with the multipath being a little bit less effective, it became a little bit more preeminent, and a lot of people just want to use these missiles from a long range perspective, right? So yeah guys, the thing is that these missiles, they are pretty good, as you see, but they're not impossible to avoid. If you know what you're doing, if you pay attention to the RWR, it is actually very easy to avoid these missiles. The thing that you have to worry about here is that the situational awareness already was one of the main things of the game, but now it's even more important. And if you have enough situational awareness and basically pay attention enough to the game, especially for the RWR, you can fly high and be very, very, very successful. You know, you can kill a lot of targets just flying high. So, is the new meta flying high? Well, the short answer is yes and no at the same time. Well, it depends. As you see right there, I mean, it's very easy to get kills flying high and flying very and shooting targets from a very far distance. Why? Because again, these missiles are very good missiles. Are they like 100% effective and they can destroy everything and they are god missiles? No. You have to still use them to a certain envelope that isn't as different as it was before, on the sense of range and speed and everything like that. Yes, some of them do turn better and stuff, and the active radar homing really does help for you to actually stay safe while actually attacking targets. But at the same time, it's not an impossible missile to avoid and stuff. Look at that. The 3 targets that I killed in this match, I mean, technically that one, I don't know what is happening with the guy. Like, I don't know if it was packet lost or if the target was, like, it's just an F-15 that was taking hits and not getting killed for some reason. It was very weird. That F-15 should have been killed and he wasn't. And then he's going to just attack these targets, these friendly aircraft that are flying next to me. Like, I don't know what was happening with that F-15. I don't know if it's a hacker. It might be. It actually might be, because it just, I look at that, it took a second hit and it's still flying. Eventually it will just jump, but it was kind of weird. But at the end of the day, I hit 3 targets with 4 missiles, right? And the 3 of them were not paying attention to their RWR. They were not paying attention to what was going on in the match. And that was their mistake. You're gonna see at the last gameplay that I did with the F4F that I did kind of the same. So, again, the main thing here is situational awareness. If you're going to fly high, you need to have your situational awareness on top of your game. And of course, together with that, the quickness and the kind of making sense keybinds that you need. Because I gotta be honest, I changed it up a little bit with the radar lock, the missile fire, because of the countermeasures being deployed separately now. And I'm getting killed so many times because I'm clicking the wrong button, because my brain is still getting used to a different button setting, right? So you need to be quick about it, because you need to have a very quick response to flares, chaff, firing missiles, and everything like that to actually be alive. That's what I think the meta kind of became, to be honest. It is a lot less forgiving than it was, you know? Although AIM-9Ms and R-73s kind of brought that up. For example here, I mean, I took a little bit of time to realize it was an actual IR missile. And because of that, I clicked the wrong button. I deployed Chef, and I got killed. So you need to be on top of your game every single engagement that you have. A lot of people are saying, for example, oh, but it's just point and click. Yes, for firing missiles, yes, it is point and click, and it's a lot easier to fire missiles. But to stay alive, that's the hard part. You can kill 2-3 targets every single match. Or, like, not every single match, but at least 1 or 2 you can kill every single match. Staying alive is another level. You need a team, you need a good strategy, you need to be on top of your game in your aircraft. So it's a lot harder right now, I think, to stay alive. To killing targets, it might be even a little bit easier, but to actually staying alive, it's harder, right? So with that, flying high might be a bad option for a lot of players. Why? Because you are a lot more vulnerable, you know? You need to be on par with the situational awareness with the RWR and stuff a lot more if you are flying high. You need to be careful on how you fly it. For example, here, I was just maintaining a good crank, but then I noticed a missile, and you can see the distance of the missile that it will start to close, get really close with the RWR. The RWR is technically giving you kind of a signal strength kind of situation over here, meaning that it will give you kind of a distance where the missile is, right? And it's coming closer and closer. I need to be careful. If I just maintain my flight path before, I was going to die. And with this, I had to just really do an aggressive cold kind of flight here, because I really honestly didn't know where the missile was. So I had to be careful. And that's what I mean. You know, flying high, it's when you are on top of your game. You need to be on top of your game to actually do well. If you are not, that's why I said that is it the new meta? Well, yes and no, because yes, if you are comfortable with your aircraft, if you have all the keybinds corrected, if you know how to use the fox trees, if you know when to go to defensive, when you go to go offensive, everything like that, yes, then the meta might be for you to actually fly high. But flying low is still very much viable. And if you don't want to, you know, or you are starting, or especially, to be honest, if your aircraft is not fully spaded, at least with the Fox 3 missiles, and with a little bit more performance, with the countermeasures, some little things like this, just fly low, guys, because it is going to be easier. Yes, multipath got changed, okay? So now, you won't be as safe as it was before flying low. You know, killing targets that are flying very low to the ground is a lot easier. But it is still the safer option if you are getting used to your aircraft, if you are not spaded, if you are getting used to top tier, you know, stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, it's not that you need less situational awareness, but you need the same amount, just being careful, you know. But it is easier to act on that situational awareness when you have threat coming towards you. So here is an example, right? I killed targets flying high. I was safe. I maintained myself alive. And I killed the 2 targets there that were not paying attention, that were flying low, so you still need situational awareness, and you have a little bit more of an option of trying to protect you, and here is why, you know. That F-15 actually shot an M120 at me, but I used the ground, I used the, I had the situational awareness to notice that the missile was going to probably come towards me, and I used the ground features to actually stay safe. I was having some troubles actually firing the missiles and stuff, and you know, one of the reasons were because I'm still getting used to the new controls and stuff. But still, if you are on top of your game, even flying low, flying high, you will stay safe. But again, flying low, you have the option of using ground features to actually stay alive. So, can you fly high? Yes, you can. Here is an example. I'm flying with an F4. A lot of people are complaining that this is a bad aircraft. It's the worst aircraft ever. It's a really bad aircraft. It's not, okay? It's an aircraft that will have, of course, a challenge facing 4th gens. And you really need to be careful with this thing. Because you are being pulled to a higher BR every single time. And if you're not careful, you need to be even more careful. So if you are going to fly with this thing, or third generations that fly in these BRs, or early fourth generation, stuff like that, that don't have Fox trees or don't have the performance, you really do need to be careful. But at the same time, it's not impossible to fly it. Why? Because you have the missiles, because you have the performance in the side of, for example, an F-16A or something like that. And with that, you can choose the type of gameplay that you use. Again, you will need the same thing, situational awareness. That's why aircraft that have MAW systems will be so good right now, because you can actually just take action against the missile when you for sure know that a missile is coming. Because if you are in a general direction of a missile launch, it might be that the missile is actually going for a friend of yours or another target and not you. So sometimes you don't even need to go defensive, but you are kind of scared of being like going towards you. So why not avoid the missile that it might be there, right? So with the MAW systems, you are a lot more safer because of that. Here is the mistake. I wasn't paying attention too much for my surroundings. I wasn't paying attention to the buttons that I had to press. Everything led to a mistake here. I was going towards like 4 or 5 targets, and I was trying to shoot missiles, but I was getting troubles with it. And that's where you get killed. So have that as a lesson, and be careful, guys, because if you get in the kill zone of these missiles, there will be no aircraft or no other type of maneuver that you will be able to do. There will be no time for you to be safe. So just take that as a lesson, as I said. These missiles are a lot more reliable to get kills, including yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think about the new meta of War Thunder, and I see you guys on the next one.